Looks like one of the answers to the broken housing market is going to be different lending options. We're going to talk about 50-year mortgage, loan assumptions, and according to Bill Polte, the head of FHA, we're now going to start talking about portable mortgages, which I think is a new twist on the mortgage market. We're going to have this conversation with the one and only Jonathan Twomley. How you doing, Jonathan?
I'm doing great, Michael. Good to see you.
Nice to see you as well. Why don't we just start with the one that sent the Twitterverse a flutter earlier in the week, and that was the 50-year mortgage. There was this meme, I guess, taken, what was it, Franklin D. Roosevelt or Teddy Roosevelt, somebody.
It was Franklin Roosevelt with the 30-year mortgage, yeah.
Thank you. Franklin D. Roosevelt and Trump with the 50-year. So what'd you think when you heard 50-year mortgage, pro, con? Where do you come down on it?
Yeah, so the first thing that I thought was, wow, this is, if you think we've got a housing crisis now,
yeah.
wait till the 50-year mortgage happens and see how much more expensive houses get. Exactly. and how much harder it's going to be for people to come up with down payments. I mean, talk about a dumb idea. Like it's just yet another. I mean, it seems like these days we're seeing bad housing policy ideas coming at us from the left and the right. Like everybody in the government, doesn't matter, they're conservative or liberal, they just have another bad idea for how they can make housing even less affordable. And this is the right's answer to Mom Donnie freezing the rent.
Yeah, it's funny you bring that up because one of the first things I thought about is the 50-year mortgage. And I actually said this to Olivia. I said, honey, the 50-year mortgage is going to be like rent control. And she's like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, well, if you know anything about rent control, it feels great for a moment, right? Feels good for the people who got it. And then as time goes by, it feels increasingly worse. I said, that's going to be the 50-year mortgage. You're going to have a 6 to 18-month period where it feels good because you have this artificial inflation of price or value, whatever you want to call it. So if you got in early enough, or heaven forbid, you already own a lot, you're going to love that extra 10% appreciation because it's all about the payment. And then, fast forward it, rent control and 50-year mortgage, same thing.
That's exactly the thought I had. It's really, and I think I posted somewhere like, this is going to be great for the people who get in early on it. Mm-hmm. And for whom, like, so before the effect of the 50-year mortgage takes place on the housing market, there will be a small number of people get in and at today's prices, and it's going to be more affordable for them.
Correct.
And they're going to be loving life. But everybody else, all that's going to happen is housing is going to become more inflated. And this is something that I know we've talked about before, but I think this point should just be made over and over and over and over again for like those in the back who don't get it. Ultra low interest rates are why we have an affordability problem in the United States. Mm-hmm. Not the only reason, but they are a huge component of the affordability problem because you lowered interest rates, kept them low for too long, for a whole generation, and that just made the housing price soar. And people keep on acting as if, interest rates have to come down to make housing affordable. All that's going to do is send the price shooting up even more. And not only that, but people forget. It's like, hey, you still got to come up with 20% or 25% down for the house. Every time that the price of the house goes up, that's more you got to come up with, right? Yeah. So for a lot of people, coming up with the down payment is the problem, right? They could say, well, look at this mortgage, it's like I can afford it, whatever, but I can't come up with $200,000 in cash to buy the house, right? Mm-hmm. So we were much better off back in the old days with 8% mortgages, with much lower housing costs, with lower down payments that people could easily save up. Plus, like, think about this too, like that money that you're saving up in the bank for your down payment, when it's earning like 5-6% in the bank, that accumulates a lot faster than when you're getting zero, right, on your deposit. And then what are you trying to do? You're like investing your deposit in something risky to try to make it grow faster so that you can catch up to the housing market. The whole thing is so stupid. So the 50-year mortgage is going to do the same thing as ultra low interest rates did, just jack up the price of housing even more. It's just a dumb idea.
No, 50-year mortgage, it's going to be exactly like rent control. Like you said, like there'll be a 6 to 18, maybe 24-month window where the wind's at your back and you're going to be a winner if you get in.
Yep.
And then for the next 3 decades, we're going to be complaining about the 50-year mortgage because it jumped the price again. It's a crazy idea.
It's a dumb idea. Yep.
So there's 50-year mortgages. Now let's go to assumable mortgages. Now, there was a time in American history where all, if not most, mortgages were assumable. It was actually a part that was used a lot in the early 80s during the S&L crisis. Some mortgages are assumable today. There's actually a company called Rome that's trying to match buyers and sellers with assumable mortgages. I have a friend of mine who's actually done an assumable mortgage. So it is possible, but hard and time consuming. But the government could get behind it. They could turn on assumable mortgages. And if you don't know what an assumable mortgage is, it's basically where you let a new buyer step into your position with bank approval, right? You're not doing this sly sub to wink, wink, nod, nod. It is a full assumption of the mortgage. What do you think? Assumable mortgages help?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think this is a bad idea. Like, I don't really have any objection to this. I'm not sure, like, how it really helps that much, other than for like those people, if they can pass on a really low interest rate to the next person. I mean, but again, that may just have the effect of, like, you know, causing prices to rise some more if people are like, oh, hey, I'm going to assume this 2% mortgage, so I'm willing to pay more for the house.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know how much it really helps, but I don't see this as being as big a problem as the 50-year mortgage idea. I just don't know if it's really all.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think if we waved a magic wand and you had all loans suddenly become assumable, assuming the buyer is creditworthy and all of that, it's one of those things that changes at the margin.
Yeah.
But if I always think of things in like real life examples, right? You have two model matches in a neighborhood. One of them has a 2% and the other has a 8%. You're willing to pay a little bit more for that 2% mortgage, which, to your point, the comps go up because it won't be stated that that had a 2% mortgage. So there is certainly something there. And again, assumable mortgages were part of our housing cycle for a while. So bringing those back, again, I think it's one of those things that helps at the edges or the margins. Not a horrible idea. Probably helps a few people.
I mean, then I wonder too, like, to get up to the typical like 75, 80%, does that mean there's going to be like a second mortgage on the
equity
house?
or a second? Yeah.
No.
Yeah, you would think you would. Yeah. Then you do blended interest rates and
do blended interest rates. So yeah, at the margins, it helps, but again, seems like maybe not as inflationary as the 50-year mortgage, but sort of slightly inflationary. Or
I think it's one thing that the market, again, it's something we've done before. So doing it again in larger quantities probably is a net help. But yeah, I agree with that. And then there's the new one. This is actually something I first brought up 5 years ago as a crazy idea. And that is the portable mortgage. And again, there's the same things about how do you get this, how do you get the additional equity, cash or seconds? But the whole idea is the reason the housing market is broken, to your point earlier, is we had a too long of a period where rates were low, where people bought or refied, and now they're locked in. Now, what if you could take that mortgage with you? So again, to my knowledge, this is something we have never done.
Yeah.
And something I thought was a wild and crazy idea that would never be broached. But Bill Pulte said, we're looking at it. So what do you think? Portable mortgages.
Yeah. I mean, this one is like, I just don't really see how banks go for it.
Yeah, that was my thought too.
Right?
It's like, why would a bank say yes?
Yeah, because a bank is going to be like, well, we underwrote this house over here, right? Mm-hmm. That's our security for this loan, right? And now you're going to go and take this mortgage off this house and put it on this other house, Well,
see, that's not the one that really bothers me, because again, you could have some kind of fee, you could do appraisals, you could do the underwriting, because typically people are trading up. Well, so in most cases, the asset would be more valuable.
Right. I mean, so the second point was that, yeah, you could do all that, but that will just add like a layer of complexity to the
cost
whole thing.
And fee.
Because then then you have to like release the mortgage on the first one as part of that sale. Mm-hmm. Like, and then what happens with like, how much time do you have between, like, do you have to have a house lined up? Do you have to buy the second house first?
Yeah. Is it like a 1031? Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have to do but even on a shorter time frame, because like, how long does the bank let like the money be unsecure?
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
You know,
Yeah,
so
you're right.
do you have to do a double closing so that that there's no lapse in their security interest? You know, what's
Maybe.
going to
Yeah.
prevent somebody from just saying like, well, I don't, hey, hey, bank, like now you have no security. I mean, and like, and then when they buy this, like, there just seems like a lot of complexity here. That's like, the bank is gonna before it's gonna release the first mortgage on the
Mhm.
first property, it's got to have the security instrument already drafted and potentially
Ready to
filed
go.
on the
Yeah.
second one, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like, how do they compel the buyer to actually buy another house? I guess this just seems to be a lot of moving
Yeah, the
parts
thing
here.
the
I'm not
thing that
sure.
got me on this one, and it still gets me today, was if you're a bank or a lender, right? And 3 years ago you were sending out mortgages at 2%, and now treasuries are 4%.
Yeah,
You don't want those 2% mortgages. The last thing you want to do is see those 2% mortgages go to term.
persist. Yeah,
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 right. So you're like, no, I don't see the whole thing about portability to me was like, why would a lender want to make the 2% mortgages last longer? They have no intent.
yeah,
They're a
yeah.
loser. That's
Yeah,
what got me.
I just think what you'll likely wind up happening is, you know, if whoever it is, Fannie, Freddie, FHA, whatever it is, says like, oh yeah, we can have portable mortgages. I imagine that immediately what's going to happen is banks writing into their loan documents, this is not portable.
Yeah, this one's not portable. Yeah,
You know, and
yeah.
then to get a portable one, you're going to have to pay. I'm sure you're going to have to pay a much higher interest rate, right? You
You
can
would
say
think, yeah.
the bank will say, hey, we need to be compensated for this risk. So sure, you can make this portable, and then maybe they sell it as like, oh, you have flexibility,
Mhm.
but you're gonna pay for that.
Oh, of
So
course, pay for
you
everything.
know,
Yeah,
yeah,
couldn't agree more. Yeah, yeah. I guess the other thing to talk about is arms. Arms have been around for a long time. Arms really went to almost zero. In 2022, I think it was like only 1 or 2% of loans were arms. Now they're up to 11%.
wow,
Yeah, 11% of origination are arms. A lot of people are betting on, again, rates going down in the future. But what do you think about arms? Oh, here's one. I don't know if you saw this. Freddie Mac, I think Fannie and Freddie have both dropped their low FICO score. The low FICO score used to be 620.
mm.
They've just dropped it as of tomorrow.
Oh really?
Uh, yeah, as of tomorrow. So now we're not even looking at credit scores. Are just repeating what we did in the GFC? What's going on?
Oh, God, I mean, that's like a shock. That's a shock to me. That like, I mean, it's also strange because usually when people decide to throw their lending standards out the window, it's like at the top of the market when
Yeah.
when they're
Get
greedy.
that last
Yeah,
borrower.
yeah,
Yeah.
because they've run out of people who are qualified, right? So yeah,
It's wild.
it's wild. I'm sorry, what was the first one that you mentioned
The first
before?
thing was arms.
Arms,
11% of
yeah.
arms. Yeah.
I mean, I listen. I think arms have a place in the
Mm.
world. Um, I think you need to have a really big appetite for risk if you're going to take an arm. Um, but I know people do, and I mean I fear probably a lot of the people who take them don't really think about the
Yeah.
consequences. You know, they're not. I don't think they're like sort of financially sophisticated enough to like understand where the debt markets are going from here. They're taking
No.
arms
They're
because it's
they're
like, oh,
gambling.
somebody said interest rates are going down, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
or Trump is
Exactly.
going to fire Powell, and then interest rates are going to go down, and then I'll be fine.
I'll be okay. Yeah.
I'll be
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I mean, I just
Yeah.
like I said, they have a place, but
Yeah.
I think probably a lot of people get in trouble with them.
At the end of the day, all of this mortgage stuff for me is almost laughable because again, it's in my opinion, it's fixing the wrong part of the equation.
Well,
It's fixing demand, not supply.
exactly. This is going back to kind of where we started. All of these things, whether it's low interest rates, anything that's basically operating to reduce the payment, the monthly
Mhm.
payment, is juicing demand. And
Correct.
until you're dealing with the supply issue, then it's just creating more of a problem, right? So these are easy fixes because the real fixes
Yeah, take
involve
time.
they
It
take
takes
time, but they also run up against a lot of opposition. Like
Mhm.
there's nobody really out there who's going to oppose low interest rates or oppose 50-year mortgages other than people like you and me who like talk about the consequences. But there's no like we're not going to go to city hall and like fight about it,
No.
right? And whereas like changing the zoning or like making it easier to build multifamily or, all those things, you've got a group of people who were, like going to go down and scream at the local politicians
Yeah.
and make their lives difficult. And that's why it's so hard to fix the supply side.
Mhm. I agree. Yeah. At the end of the day, I've always said, "What in doubt, government's going to go after demand because it's easy and sexy. They're not
Yeah.
going to go after supply because it's hard and time consuming."
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jonathan, where can people find? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, juicing the supply side is a vote getter.
Correct.
Just or juicing the demand side is a vote getter. Dealing with the supply side is vote loser. So we
Agreed.
know what's going to happen.
There you
With
go.
that. Yeah.
Where can people find you?
Yeah. So come join my school group.
It's free.
It's free, and for at least until the group gets too big, I'm actually trying to set up a call with every single person who joins the group. Because I
Nice.
really want to learn what people are interested in and just get to know the members of my group so we can really build a good community. So come join my school group. It's school.com/AIC. And when you sign up, you'll get a little message from me to schedule a
Nice.
call. So would love to meet you and talk with you.
Awesome. Thanks, Jonathan. Good luck.